don't know what you all are talking about, but everybody I talk to is talking about what Donald Trump doesn't want to talk about. So let's talk about it. It being the conspiracies.
Privately told Donald Trump that he appeared in the Epstein files multiple times. And she told him this before her Department of Justice declared the Jeffrey Epstein case essentially closed.
For years, before he was, reelected, and recently, since they all got into office, a bunch of high-ranking people in Trump's administration have kept promising to release the files surrounding Jeffrey Epstein.
And declined to release any more files to the public, despite all kinds of promises to the contrary. Now, that's the top line of an incredible new piece of reporting from the Wall Street Journal today detailing that meeting back in May.
Why is Trump quieter than a mouse in a library? The Epstein files just dropped a bombshell, and suddenly, the man who tweets more than most people breathe has gone silent. Could it have something to do with his name showing up in those infamous flight logs? And what about the edited prison footage? This silence has everyone scratching their heads, and we're here to decode the mystery. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Trump, the guy who practically invented the angry tweet at 3 a.m., is suddenly playing the quiet game. And not just any quiet game, this one's awkward. This is a man who thrives on being the center of attention, whether it's shouting fake news like a catchphrase or throwing insults at anyone with a microphone. Trump loves the sound of his own voice. Yet here we are. The Epstein files drop.
Defiance and his suspicious death. But now, suddenly, for reasons that I legally cannot think of, Donald Trump seems desperate to stop us from knowing who Jeffrey Epstein's clients were. In fact, yesterday, he said he was surprised anyone even cares about the guy.
I should be clear here, NBC News has not independently verified this reporting, which appeared just hours ago in the Wall Street Journal. And, let's be clear, the mere presence of a person's name in these files is not an indication of wrongdoing by itself.
About a cabal of the rich, the famous, and the royal befriending a con man who regularly flies off in his private plane to his private island to do super illegal sex stuff. Then the con man is arrested. People are afraid he's going to name names, but before he can, he mysteriously dies.
Had tons of people that he was associated with. The White House communications director called the Journal report, quote, another fake news story. But we do know that meeting happened. Bondi briefed Trump on the results of her DOJ Epstein investigation in May.
And his reaction is cricket. No tweets, no ranty interviews, no carefully worded but not really press releases. Weird, right? It gets even weirder when you see what's in the files. Trump's name is listed in Epstein's flight logs not once, not twice, but 7 times. 7. And that's not even the juiciest part. Apparently, according to Michael Wolff, Epstein claimed he was there for Trump's very first night with Melania on Epstein's private jet. Now, isn't that a detail you'd expect Trump to address or deny in his famously loud way, especially with Elon Musk casually tossing out Trump's name on social media like he's stirring a cocktail at a scandal party? But nope, Trump has zipped his lips this time. Let's not forget, this is the same Trump who once said Epstein was a terrific guy and complimented his taste in women. That's a line that aged about as well as leftovers from 2 weeks ago. His old buddy-buddy routine with Epstein only makes his current silence look a lot like hiding. Trump apparently thinks dodging the topic will make it go away. Spoiler alert, it's not working. Even Trump's own supporters are noticing something's off. Usually they rally around him no matter what mess he's in. But this time, some are demanding transparency, others are scratching their heads, and the rest are just stalling with conspiracy talk. It's like watching a fan club fumble for a new playbook. Meanwhile, Trump's silence only stirs up more questions. Why isn't he attacking this head-on or shifting the blame somewhere else? What does he know that we don't? And the more his base calls out for answers, the quieter he gets. At this rate, that silence might just set off a storm no tweet will be able to clean up. The Epstein files aren't just more bad press for Trump. They're a political time bomb.
This morning, Trump had enough of this nonsense. He drew a line in the sand for his supporters, posting in part, "The radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein."
Were made by Barack Obama using his time-traveling machine. He was asked directly if Bondi told him he was in the files, and he said no. And then he said the files were made up by a whole bunch of Democrats and rambled about Russia.
Asking me about Jeffrey Epstein, please turn in your MAGA hat, your golden shoes, your golden watch, your Trump golden guitar, and also immediately delete any NFTs.
We have a report suggesting that was a lie. I think he would remember if Pam Bondi told him he was in the files, don't you? For what reason would he lie like that? In fact, here's a litany of other things Trump has said about the Epstein case in recent weeks.
Passenger logs, the kind that make your palms sweat if your name pops up, list Trump's name at least 7 times. 7 trips on the infamous Epstein planes. And no, this wasn't some random mix-up at baggage claim. These names have reignited public outrage, forcing everyone to ask the uncomfortable question, why were so many powerful faces, including Trump's, tied to Epstein? But it's not just the logs making waves. Let's talk about that bizarre, edited prison surveillance footage. Experts who went full CSI on it discovered it was stitched together with editing software. You know, like someone needed those last moments erased. And just like that, Epstein's death is now the granddaddy of all conspiracy theories. If you're already suspicious, this kind of lazy editing job doesn't exactly scream, trust us. Now, here's where it circles back to Trump again. The Maxwell family, whose name is forever chained to Epstein's legacy, released a statement that takes a direct swing at Trump. The reminder of his ties to both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell isn't subtle. Combine that with the files, and suddenly this doesn't just feel like noise.
You can't build a brand on conspiracy theories and then get mad when people are interested in your conspiracy theories. The same reason Hooters had to drop their short-lived ad campaign.
Trump says the story is fake and is suing the reporters, the paper, the owner, Rupert Murdoch, for literally billions of dollars. But if that story rocked Trump world, and it seemed to do that, today's journal reporting might rock MAGA to its core.
3%, which means Trump's handling of the Epstein files has the exact same rating as Battlefield Earth does on Rotten Tomatoes, which, coincidentally, is the movie Jeffrey Epstein was watching right before he killed himself.
It also, crucially, seems to corroborate allegations by ranking Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee, Dick Durbin. Remember, we reported this just a few days ago, who wrote a letter to Pam Bondi last week demanding her answers.
It feels like a neon "look here" sign over Trump's head. And how does Trump respond? By calling all of this boring and waving it off. Oh, okay, a former president linked to one of the most corrupt figures of our era just yawns through it? Sure, but his fans aren't buying it. Some are demanding he come clean. Others are giving him the side eye as he mutters for everyone to move on. It's like he's trying to pot a boiling kettle with both hands over the lid. Spoiler, this never works. The longer this simmers, the worse it gets. His base isn't just grumbling, they're cracking. And the media? Sharks in a feeding frenzy. This scandal isn't just a smudge. It's chasing his legacy around with a can of spray paint. Trump's silence isn't just a tactic, it's a gamble. Staying quiet while Epstein's shadow grows is risky, especially for someone who thrives on spinning narratives. History shows silence rarely works. Just ask Nixon, whose Watergate cover-up blew up in his face, or Bill Clinton, whose dodging only made his scandals worse. People want transparency, and even Trump's supporters are getting restless. The public has a right to know. These files aren't just names, they're keys to accountability. Secrets never stay buried forever. So when the truth finally comes out, the real question isn't if Trump can handle it, it's how bad it'll get.